Hi, my name is Michael Radine. I'm a chartered accountant, independent financial advisor, old surfer, and I just wanted to make a few comments about the Wiseman's Surf Lodge investment opportunity. That's basically all these comments are based on the product disclosure statement dated 19 July 2021. And yeah, the main reason I'm saying this is that I'm not that keen on it. There's better stuff out there, but I just thought I'd show it to you, mainly for the benefit of other surfer friends who may be considering this type of investment. So what's this all about? Basically, it's just a property investment. Okay, that's the main thing to consider, is that if things go well after it's all built, and hoping the waves really work well, you'll get a rental-like return only. And then the possibility of capital growth only on the property. And it's a very exciting project, but it's a new project. And so new equals risky. But all the other profits from the waves, hotels, restaurants, golf, whatever, all go to the operator. Why am I saying something? Well, I don't think this is particularly fair. I don't think it's a particularly good investment, but the risks, the returns don't justify the risks, and there's a lot of them. And really, that's really the main point. Going straight into it, what you're seeing here is an extract from the product disclosure statement showing what the use of the $120 million will be used for. And you can see the main aspects is that up front, there's only about $10 million being spent for the actual purchase of property on the banks of the beautiful Hawkesbury River up there in Wiseman's Ferry. Cost of construction of, well, the whole, basically redoing the resort, a lot of the wave pool, etc. Plus, you can see there's about $16.5 million just for the actual wave pool machine. And then importantly, to the operator, fund managers, they're getting involved in actually managing the build, and they get another $1.8 million for the administration of the property fund. Okay, there's some cash being put aside, $7.6 million. But the thing I really want to point out is that of the $120 million, about $14 million is going to go back to the guys who started this whole thing right up front. Okay, and that's the thing that sort of come to my attention in particular. So generally speaking, the property investors who are putting all the money in, it seems pay for almost everything, but only get part of the rewards. The operator, otherwise called, let's assume it's pronounced the balance group, immediately after things are built, get a so-called profit of $13.9 million. I don't think, as an accountant, I don't think it's a profit at all. They've raised excess capital, and it seems they want to get all their money back, and they certainly have put a lot of money in, over $3.5 million so far, and they tell us that they're probably going to spend another $3.5 million, and they're going to put $10 million of their own money in, so-called co-investment. But it looks like they get the whole lot back as soon as the whole thing is construction has been completed. So you think, well, okay, they made all their money. They've made a good profit. Say they do put $7 million in, well, they're going to get that back plus another $7 million as well. But in fact, they end up getting the highly lucrative business that's remains, being all the income from the waves, hotels, restaurant management fees, that they forecast themselves to be $10 million in year one, they get after getting their money back. So they get all their money back, plus a good significant profit, plus they get this business pretty much for free, but it's being funded by the property investors, okay? Oh. So just go over that. In that earlier slide, they do get paid for whatever they do. The fund manager will receive $3.6 million. The operator for the assisting development, $1.8 million to manage the property while it's being built. And then they pull out their $14 million at the end of it. They did put $10 million, they said they're going to put in $10 million up front. And then they will get, even though $14 million gets paid back out to them, the books will show them still owning 10 of the $120 million in the property investment. And if the income P&L forecasts are correct, they will receive $600,000 per annum on the 6% income on the 10 million every year that they keep the funds in there. Plus, they get all the income in the first initial 3-month rent-free period, which may not be that much, but nevertheless, you'd imagine there'd be some good income. And this is an interesting one. They're actually going to make about $1 million a year from the ongoing management fee of 0.86%. But funnily enough, because the whole project is a higher costed $120 million that includes their $14 million profit, they actually make a fee of about $120,000 on their profit. That's a good one, isn't it? Good if you can get it. Anyway, they're actually being really well rewarded besides pulling all the profit out up front. Now, I just want to point out that this sort of a venture, losses could be significant. Now, we have no idea how well it's going to go, and I hope it's actually fantastically successful. However, as indicated by the total where all the money's going, is that the cost of the current old golf course resort that's there on the banks of the Hawkesbury only costs around $10 million. So if this thing falls over, you're not going to be able to get much money out, and you'll incur significant potential capital loss. Just summarize some aspects. Now, the hopeful, optimistic income return of year one, it's not that good. 6% income per annum, it's okay. On an existing, say, commercial property with a good tenant that's currently paying rent, but not on a riskier project. You've probably all heard, risk and return are related. Well, that's true, they are. And when you have a higher risk project like this, you should be getting a higher reward than 6%. So I don't really think it's that good an income. And by the way, you have to wait quite a long time before you get anything out at all. Based upon the optimistic forecast at the moment, based upon financial years, the first year's distribution will be only 1.5% of your money paid in the year 30 June 2024. It's unexpected to go up if everything goes well. And one significant matter is that it's probably a very highly illiquid investment. So it could take years before you can actually get your money out. And by the way, the fund managers themselves, they'll have a $10 million investment, and they said they will leave up to at least $2 million. So they'll possibly put themselves at the front of the queue to get out. And the only way to get out is if other people want to buy you out. New applications into the fund will fund redemptions as indicated in the product disclosure statement. So it could be a long time before you get your money out. And by the way, even if you are an investor, you still have to pay to serve. It will cost extra. Now, just want to touch on something that, of course, these guys should be rewarded. New ventures are really risky, and they would have spent huge amounts of time in getting the project to where it is today. And I really hope they get it over the line, and they should certainly be well rewarded. But in my opinion, I believe that the profit split, as indicated by the product disclosure statement, should be more closely aligned to the investors who are actually paying for everything. And therefore, I think, as I've sort of joked, profit share should be more balanced. Anyway, I love the idea of a wave pool in Sydney, but I don't think this is a great opportunity for investment. For investors, there's better stuff elsewhere. Okay. Now, this is purely my opinion. I don't know you. This is a general disclaimer. This is not personal advice. That's the sort of thing we always have to say in this job. Anyway, thanks very much. That's all. Bye.